All right. In the last 2 years, particularly in the last year, there's been a rising tide of mortgage broker insanity that I've got to address. It's a little bit technical. It's a little bit inside baseball, but I gotta just talk about this thing because it's getting bigger and bigger every day. And this is the batshit crazy idea that there's some magical tax and investment and sprinkle pixie dust on it system so that you can make your mortgage payments tax deductible. Okay. So it's total BS. Okay. It's absolutely stupid. I know. There's going to be a few of you that listen to this and say, well, like I'm doing it. So are you sure it's stupid? Yeah, I'm sorry you got taken. Okay. But it's stupid. So let me break it all down. What's going on here? So, and the thing about it is when the mortgage broker pitches it, when they're telling you about it, when they're running their videos or they're telling, or they're in front of you telling their story and they're showing you all the graphs and the charts and the spreadsheets that show how this thing is going to be a fantastic success for you. It's hard to resist. It's hard to resist, okay? Because it does the most dangerous thing you can do. It projects into the future. It projects financial results into the future. And this is so dangerous. All right, let's break it down. What is going on here? Well, let's say that you hear about something. I'm going to call it the Jones scheme. That's not what they call it. They call it something else. But I'm going to say, I want to try to reduce the amount of litigation in my life. So I'm going to call it the Jones scheme. And the Jones scheme is an idea that somehow you can deduct the payments you make on a mortgage from your income tax, that you would simultaneously create an investment fund, or in some cases, something really totally fucking crazy, like you'll go out and buy a rental property, okay? But let's just be clear. It's this idea that by going through all these moves, you can achieve this incredibly positive result, save hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of mortgage interest, and you have incredible results that nobody else knows about. Only they know about it. Only the Jones scheme people are the experts on this stuff. So here's the terrible, terrible truth about it is that it always revolves around you borrowing more. It's always about borrow extra and put it over here and the magic happens. Okay? All right, so this Jones scheme, I don't want to do it any kind of a service by describing it to you because, in my opinion, it's pure horseshit. Okay, so it always comes down to this kind of noises that you hear. You hear that by borrowing more, which should always be the alarm that goes off in your head when someone says, wait a second, I just want to buy this house or I just want to refinance, get a new mortgage, get a better rate, and you're telling me that I should borrow more. But that alarm doesn't go off because there's so much bullshit involved in the Jones scheme that it's like dazzling. Okay. So let's think about how it's all, but just assume that that's what it is. It's all about if you borrow more and invest it in something that will allow you to write off just that portion, because you could never really write off the portion of your mortgage ever under law. You could never write off the portion of your mortgage that you used to actually buy the house. But if you borrowed more, keep that in mind. Borrowed more is the real story behind it, and got investments that's now tax deductible. And that's going to be the path to success. Well, hold on a fucking second. Like, I borrowed more. How is that the path to success? I mean, how did that? Okay, they don't talk about that. So this is how crazy this is. The Jones scheme it tends to always involve having you talk to other people. Like it's about a team approach. It's about planning. They always talk about mortgage planning. So I'm going to have you talk to a tax advisor from the firm of Dipshit and Splooge Accountants, and they're going to show you the benefits of the tax side of this thing. And then I'm going to get you involved in a group of who are a part of our team about investment advisors. For instance, the GFL Investment Advisory. GFL stands for good fucking luck. Yeah, that's what it stands for. So all of the, and then to make matters worse, the mortgage advisors themselves who promote the Jones scheme, they have created their own designation. Yeah. You know how like accountants have a designation, it's official, that there's a regulatory body, and that investment advisors must pass all kinds of very, very hard tests to get their designation, also through a regulator, it's through the body that's regulated. This is not that. This is like, one of those claws that goes down into the, you could go put some money in the claw and it goes down into the bin of little toys and things, and it plucks one out, but most of the time it just falls down. Well, this is like the Kinder Surprise certificate. Like, yeah, it is the Jones scheme official specialist. Yeah. It's such fuckery that they invent their own designation, which is recognized by no government and no regulatory body and nobody anywhere. But they are certified Jones scheme specialists. Can you believe the level of enshittification of that foolishness? Okay, like, yeah, and they sell it to mortgage agents so you can become a Jones scheme certified specialist. That's how deep the fuckery goes, okay? So in the end, you have to ask yourself a very important question. This extra borrowing, it's designed to be good to the mortgage broker. It's designed to take you off the idea of trying to find a low rate, because a low rate's not important. It's only the magnificent plan that's important. Don't worry about rates anymore. It's about the scheme. It's about the Jones scheme. That's the best thing. And also, it means that you get a bigger mortgage. The mortgage broker who's paid on the size of the mortgage makes more money because they're encouraging you to always borrow more, okay? Yes, that's right. But here's a great question to ask. If this was such a good idea that it creates investments, well, banks sell investments, right? And it creates a bigger mortgage. Well, banks like a bigger mortgage, right? Except no bank will allow this. No bank will have any of their salespeople do this because banks are scared about lawsuits because they know, and banks know how wrong this is. If you encourage people to borrow on their mortgage to go out and make investments, that's kryptonite. That's as dangerous a thing as you could do. Yeah, they know it, so they won't do it. But independent mortgage brokers, they just don't care. So that's what you're getting from the Jones scheme.